I think we could have gave a better effort for sure. At the time, I don't think this team was 30 points better than this. I mean, we've seen it throughout the first 6 games of the series. But you got to give them credit. They came out and fought, ran hard in transition, got easy points, and they made shots.
I'm still blown away by seeing the man talk. I mean, I think he deserves. I think he deserves to be, paid tribute just for giving quotes. I can't believe I'm seeing Kawhi Leonard talk. It just throws me off, Big Perk. It just throws me off. But your thoughts? How should we, albeit a rhetorical question, no doubt, how should we view James Harden right now after this Game 7, Perk?
You know, we always looking at guys, and when you talk about James Harden and what he's done in his career, we look at his resume and we say, damn, when he was with the Rockets, he was a MVP, leading scorer, led the league in assists and all this. What does he rank among the greats, especially at the shooting guard position, right? And so even a few years back, I did something on social media, where I ranked the shooting guards, and I had Jordan number 1, Kobe number 2, and I had Jordan at number 3, and I was tripping. I would never, and no one should ever put James Harden before Dwayne Wade because of what he does, but how he fails in the postseason, especially in Game 7s. He's allergic to Game 7s. He breaks out in rashes. Like, it's crazy to me how a guy could go from what he's done in Game 6 of this series to all of a sudden just dropping down as if he don't give a damn. I don't want to say he don't care about the game. It's like he's afraid of the moment. And when you think about all-time greats, we think about what they do in the postseason, the championships, how they shine on the big stage. And when you look at his history of Game 7s, he just fold like clean sheets.
Swagoo?
Well, take what we just talked about with Steph Curry and how he showed up in that game, and we have history of him doing that multiple times. Think about LeBron James in Game 7s. I'm talking about all of the guys in James Harden's generation where he's been playing at a very high level of point scoring, doing all of those things. And that's what we have that to compare to. And this is where he falls off a cliff. Like, James Harden is like the dude that got a girl and he sets up nice scenes and he never proposes. They never gonna get married, okay? He's gonna date you. Y'all gonna stay together. People gonna say y'all a great looking couple, but he's never gonna marry you. That's what I compare these Game 7 to. And the disappointing part about it is you measure the performances that we've seen him have in his career, and they are some of the best we've seen in the NBA history. And you just want to see one of those in a closeout situation, or when your team needs you to come through in a major way. That's what we want to see. So ultimately, we can always have this conversation about James Harden's place in the NBA when it comes to what he's done as far as winning MVPs, the points that he scored, the step back ability, all of these great things we talk about with his game. I'm to the point now where I'm convinced that these Game 7s overshadow that, and may be a bit unfair for NBA guys and dudes that play the game, because we all have a healthy respect for how hard it is. Perk, you the only one on this panel that did it. But I believe that this will overshadow a lot of really good things James Harden has done in his career.
No question.
And we'll get to but Game 7s.
Wendy?
It's a missed opportunity because he had such positive vibes and played so well.
Yes,
and
he did.
Look, I can sit here and make a case that this was what happened with him was only part of what went on with the Clippers. There was a bunch of things that went down. Ty Lue, he didn't start the same lineup that he started in the second half of Game 6 with Nick Batum in the lineup, which was a transformational lineup. He didn't go with it. We saw Norm Powell have a bad game. Kawhi didn't have his best game. He put up good numbers, but he didn't have his best game. He actually had the worst plus-minus in the game on the Clippers. Zubats, who'd been great throughout the whole series, he didn't have his best game. But it's hard to get past the James Harden number. I mean, I can even tell you that he had 13 assists, and there was actually a number of Clipper games this year where Harden had high assist totals and bad shooting nights, and they still won the game. I could even put forth some sort of case that there was a pathway for them to win with Harden playing like this. But I wouldn't do it full-throated, because as much as I respect him and think that in some ways he's actually underrated, this was just hard. And I know it was a big ask. It's a road Game 7. This is not where guys thrive in their careers. But you talk now, he's lost Game 7s with 4 different teams. 4 different teams. And, the numbers don't lie. So this is not on James Harden alone. He is not the reason they lost, but he wasn't the reason they won. And that's what he really needed.
Well, Wendy, I'm going to encapsulate it this way. I mean, it's really, really bad. Of course, he wasn't the only reason that the Clippers lost this game. There's a plethora of reasons as to why. Kawhi Leonard didn't look as great. Nobody looked great. Norman Powell, who I love, didn't look good at all. We get that part. Questions about what Ty Lue was doing strategically in terms of, like you pointed out, not starting the same starting unit that he put out to start the second half of Game 6, where I was courtside. But here's the reality. When you talk about James Harden, and this is the problem, fellas, when we're thinking about these guys, because right now we're hating. You understand? We're hating. That's what we're going to be accused of when we're talking about bare bone facts. Okay, so let me give it to you. This is Harden in Game 7. It's not the fact that, he only scored 7 points. How about only taking 8 attempts? He would have been better off shooting 1 for 25. At least you're going out there and you're trying. It's not about his poor performances. This is at least the 3rd time his effort is being questioned in a Game 7. It was questioned in a Game 6, rather, against San Antonio. It was questioned in Philadelphia, against Boston. It's being questioned now, if not a flat-out indictment. It's gotten to the point where Game 7 transpires, and what you're going to say is somebody going to perform, or are they going to have James Harden fever? They're naming it fever after this guy, after Game 7, because he attempted 8 shots. 8 shots with him on the court. The Clippers were outscored by 29. Oh, by the way, he's lost 4 of his last 5 playoff series. Oh, by the way, in his last 4 Game 7s combined, his record is 1-3. He's averaged 13.8 points. He shot 27% from the field. He has shot 17% from three-point range. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a choke job. It's a choke job. There's no way around it. Not because of the number percentage-wise in terms of his inefficiency. It's because of the absence of attempts. In 4 Game 7s combined, you've only attempted 51 shots. This is James Harden we're talking about, who could put up damn near 30, 40 shots in 1 game. 51 shots in 4 games. 51 33-pointers in 4 Game 7s. It's almost like you're not trying. And I'm not saying that he's not. What I'm saying is panic has set in. Somehow, as Perk said, when a Game 7 arrives, you got cats, palms get sweaty, backsides get tight, they shivering. And for some reason with him, that is what people are looking at right now. So that's the problem that James Harden has. And I don't believe, outside of getting to a Game 7 and just exploding, I don't believe his reputation overcomes this. It's not going to stop him from being in the Hall of Fame. It's not going to stop him being recognized as one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. But considering his talent and his resume, yet how small